I get that, but
he gave you stats to back it up. They've won a game in every series. They're the only team in the SEC to do that.
Nick, if you're hanging your hat on, well, we didn't get swept at any time this year.
I think that speaks.
Guess who got swept last year by Auburn? The defending national champions. Well, they're not defending anymore.
Yeah, we will talk about that. Jay, and I was going to send you a video, but then I know how you don't like to play the audio, but it's all the Cracker Box, the Popcorn Stadium. It's got to be referring to Athens and Knoxville on the comment. But LSU will be back. I will tell you this. I thought Pearson was going to go yard in the SEC tournament on that last AB.
I did too.
You just felt
at least get them going, you know.
And he had a sweep. Yes, it was.
Hey, if you can get this the next 3 weekends,
it's been great. Yeah,
you being the Auburn Tigers, this being the just locked down pitching you've had through 18 innings in Hoover, you can beat any team in the country.
First shutout in SEC tournament history for Auburn last night.
I've been very impressed. I mean, I knew that was kind of the sauce for Auburn this year was the pitching. You know, and the hitting's kind of up and down, but that's elite. That's elite stuff.
Okay, the day this morning, by the way, wake up. Apparently, I snored last night, so everyone was awake in the house. Walk into the kitchen. And we go over the daily schedule, the weekly schedule. And the bride says, now, what regional are you going to this weekend? And I'm like, that is phenomenal. Unfortunately, I don't think the Purdue Boilermakers will make it in. They were so close.
You know,
that was it last night. Had they won,
if they had gotten that win last night,
they'd be in
3 wins in the tournament, including one over the
number one team.
No doubt, number one team. They're very much on the bubble. They finished, 5th in the conference?
5th in the conference.
I've been telling you all year that I think the Big Ten was much improved and going to get more love this year. It's definitely worth getting the boys together and watching the selection show Monday. But
even if disappointed,
I'll believe they're in when I see their name announced. Until then, it's just
you're gonna have to go to the SoCon. You got to watch Conference USA and Sun Belt.
Did Mercer get put out of their tournament?
That's what I believe happened.
If Mercer gets in that large, whoever won the SoCon, that's a bid state.
And Mercer has the victory over Georgia Tech. So that is huge feather in their crown. We're going to check all the Field of 64 predictions. Of course, we want to hear from you, the most intelligent audience in all of sports radio. The coffee today, Southern Pecan Coffee from the Depot Coffee Shop in downtown Ruston, 211 West Railroad Avenue, and the Pillowy Pluff Delicious Daylight Donuts. Of course, we go to the phone line. Bethune-Cookman's number one fan, that's Chuckopedia. Good morning, Chuckopedia. How are you? As always, we All right, appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you for that reminder. You have a great weekend. You can call just like Chuck did, of course, 888-993-7762. That is the Origin Bank hotline and text line. Only one number that you have to remember, and that is 888-993-7762. Now, interesting, he talked about the SWAC tournament. It is in Birmingham at Rickwood Field, which is the oldest park, opened in 1910, in case you're wondering, and Fenway opened, I believe, in 1912. And Wrigley Field in 1914. So Rickwood Field in Birmingham, the oldest park.
Speaking of Boston and Chicago, FS says in 1876, Joe Borden of Boston throws the first National League no-hitter. And then in 1926, Hack Wilson hits the first home run off the Wrigley Field scoreboard.
There you go. Just a little history on the day brought to you by FS. Certainly appreciate FS chiming in this morning on the Nick Brown Show, which you can take the Nick Brown Show with you wherever you are. We welcome those listening on Smash Hits 94.5 in Jackson, Alabama. Certainly appreciate Steve each and every week what he does. You can download the Red Peach Sports app. And, of course, we're on the Nick Brown Show YouTube channel and Facebook as well. But appreciate you listening to the show. Now, don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. Chris Hart has been tabbed to replace baseball coach Elliott Avent, who is retiring at the end of the year. Is that going to be? Is that going to turn out like the Vols in Knoxville? How do you feel about Tennessee going into the regional? Looks like you're headed to Baseburg. We'll know on Monday, but field of early projections. Vols headed to Hattiesburg. That is one the Owen family can make. Short trip to Pete Taylor Park.
That's probably better than getting sent to Atlanta or North Carolina.
But at Atlanta, you can stay with Soccer Son and you have free lodging.
Yeah, but Georgia Tech, oh my goodness. They pound the baseball. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad we made a regional this year. Only 1 year game worse than Tony V, but I just no confidence in the pitching. So
there you go.
But it's better. Now I will never take making a regional for granted. With the history of Tennessee baseball, this is the longest streak in the history of the school. Making it, I will never take them for granted because most of my life, we were just lucky to make the SEC tournament.
There is going to be a bid stolen, and it's probably going to be that. Purdue won 2 in the Big Ten tournament. They were swept by Iowa, and then they were on one of those teams looking in. But Mercer lost to the Citadel yesterday 9-2 in the SoCon tournament. So looks like the Mercer Bears are going to get an at-large bid. So they will get that. Love to hear from you at 888-993-7762. Again, 888-993-7762.
So explain to me, what was the point of the Liberty-Louisiana Tech game? What is that format in that conference tournament?
Okay, and to the top, brother wanted me to explain that to him, so I hope he's listening. All right, so what you have, Preacher Man, is when you go to these tournaments, okay, a couple years ago, Louisiana Tech made it out to a regional. You were out of gas. Now, the premise behind it is you end up saving arms. So you have a pool play. You have a pod. And there are 9 teams out of Conference USA that made it. And you have pod 1, pod 2, pod 3, A, B, and C. 3 teams. And they're sorted out by their seedings. So obviously you're going to give your number 1 seeding. But if you win your pod, you make it into semifinal play. So 3 teams, 3 winners, 3 pod winners make it to the semifinals. In a single elimination once you get there. How they choose the 4th team, okay, first of all, you're going to be tied with someone. Let's just say the team that is the lesser seed in the pod wins. Well, if the other team goes 1-1, they're automatically going. So how the ultimate tiebreaker to determine the 4th team is going to be the highest seed. So when Louisiana Tech went in, had they defeated Liberty, which they did not, had they been 1-1, it wouldn't have mattered because Liberty would have had a higher seed and it advanced. Anyway,
so that game didn't really matter.
Did not matter at all.
Yeah, that game didn't matter at all. And I think that's the broken part with that system is, I mean, if you're playing a game in the postseason that doesn't matter. And I don't know how
Yeah.
you explain that to fans and to players even at that point. Like, this game does not matter either way.
And at that point, if you're, I mean, and it's tough to say because we know, but you're playing for, like, how do you motivate in that instance?
Yeah.
Like you're just going through the motions. Let's get it. Like at that point, you're like, let's just get it over. Let's just get it over because it does not matter. And well, winning should always matter. I get that, but no, at that point, it was. There are some very good points to it. That is one of the flaws of the system, as Cheer Guy said.
But I do think it does. I mean, you only have to win 4 games essentially to win the tournament. And really, if you're seeded 1, 2, or 3, you only have to win 3.
Correct.
And I think that's one thing where it does help.
Because if you go 1-1, you're going to be the higher seed.
Right. If you're the
Just
one
don't
seed.
go 0-2 and you're
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Puts a value on the regular season.
Yeah,
To
and
finish up 1, 2,
for
or
sure,
3.
and it puts a value on the regular season. But I think that it is nice that you can win 3 or 4 games and win the tournament versus some of these other tournaments where you've got to start winning on Tuesday and win all the way to Sunday, and by the time Sunday gets here, you're throwing whoever you can find. You're maybe even looking at a position player or something if you need it.
And you can look at the SEC tournament. I mean, that seeding made a huge difference because the first 2 rounds, people are throwing their midweek guys or some freshmen that hadn't thrown all year. And when you get to wait and have your first game on Thursday, that's a huge advantage.
And it ended up with, before we go to break, it did end up with number 4 DBU is going to take on number 1 Jackson State. That's going to be this morning at 11. And then after that, the number 2 and number 3 seed are going to play. That is Liberty and Missouri State. The frustrating thing about that is if you're a Louisiana Tech fan, you took 1 from DBU, you swept Missouri State, and you swept Liberty or won the Liberty Series. Another won the Liberty Series. So there you go. You beat everybody but the number 1 seed, but that is the way that it goes. We're going to take a break. I'm going to enjoy a Pillowy Fluff Delicious Daylight Donut, and I'm going to grab some more Southern Pecan coffee from the Depot Coffee Shop in downtown Ruston. You're listening to The Nick Brown Show on the Nick Brown Show Network. We'll be right back.
Friends, this is Skip Russell, your #1 insurance agent in Ruston for the past 42 years. I want you to know that I would be proud to be your insurance agent. Come by and check out our new lower rates on automobile insurance. Call us at 255-5050 or come by our office at 105 Reynolds Drive in Ruston. That's behind Wendy's and Captain D's. Thank you.
I'm hashing over an ethical dilemma, so I think I could use some black coffee.
Of course, you can get black coffee and all your favorite coffee beverages at the Depot Coffee Shop. The Depot Coffee Shop is located at 211 West Railroad Avenue in downtown Ruston. The Depot Coffee Shop is coffee with a cause. The Depot Coffee Shop is open Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and on Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 to 3. Call in your order at 232-7084 or visit the Depot Coffee Shop.
Provision Security, preserving your past, protecting your future. Cameras, doorbell cameras, systems you can control all from your smartphone. Security systems with low monthly monitoring starting at $14.99. Provision Security is more than security. Sound systems, hanging your flat screen TV, speakers in your ceiling, even Wi-Fi systems. Provision Security, 314 East Georgia in Ruston. Call Michael at 773-3703. Check him out on Facebook. Provision Security.
This is Brandon Kraft, General Manager at Homes Plus. This tax season, we have got with our factories to offer our customers guaranteed build times. So don't just spend your tax return, invest it into the next place you will call home. And everyone be on the lookout for the all-new tiny home coming soon. Get the plus. Homes Plus. So come see us on Highway 165 North in Monroe or visit us at homesplus.com.
You know what that sound means. It's time for the Pillowy Fluff Delicious Daylight Donut. Go visit them at 108 Monticello Avenue in Ruston, just north of I-20. They're open Monday, 5:30 to 10:30 a.m., Tuesday through Friday, 5:30 to 11:30 a.m., and on Saturday and Sunday from 6 to 12. Daylight Donuts of Ruston, proudly supporting the Nick Brown Show for the last 10 years. Ask for a wedding cake-filled donut. It's a Nick Brown Show favorite.
Join us for Bleed Tech Blue Radio on Tuesday nights from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Sports Talk 97.7. I'm Ben Carlaw, owner, publisher of BleedTechBlue.com. We'll spend 90 minutes with you discussing all things Louisiana Tech athletics. We'll go behind the scenes with coaches, players, and talk all things Louisiana Tech recruiting. Join us for Bleed Tech Blue Radio every Tuesday night from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Sports Talk 97.7 FM and SportsTalk977.com.
Get in the game. Now, back to the Nick Brown Show.
Welcome back to the Nick Brown Show, the Nick Brown Show Network. If you're having trouble with the Red Peach Radio Sports apps, we find us wherever you may be and listen on your phone.
You can go to redpeachlive.com, redpeachlive.com on your browser, and you can listen to the broadcast.
Cheer guys seem to have a comment from the Facebook Live feed.
And we appreciate Steve for helping us get that info out.
Yeah, Richard Ainsworth, he said that he won't be able to watch this morning. He's doing the Murph with his son in South Carolina, but then he quickly followed it up with, yeah, right, he's just the babysitter. But good on the Ainsworth family for getting out there and doing the Murph and, you know, honoring all of our soldiers on this Memorial Day weekend. Nick, you going to hit the Murph on Monday?
You know, if I do that, I'll do it solo or with my wife. I will not have this whole group that goes.
I was going to see if you want to come split it. I'm not in good enough shape to do the whole thing right now.
I tell you what, we need to add you to the All Hours family. Tabor's going to come to the All Hours family. Preacher Guy works out, and All Hours, you work out when you want to. 24-hour gym, great place, and they have these massage chairs. In fact, everyone says that it's my chair, reserved for.
I've heard more about this massage chair and red light therapy stuff from you than I do on like social media.
Here's what I was thinking, and well, I will cover that a little later in the show. I've got an idea about the massage chair, but we'd love to hear from you at 888-993-7762, the most intelligent audience in all of sports radio. So I'm putting together, do you say, I even told my wife, I said, you know what, a win today, I could just drive up to Hoover on Sunday, watch a championship game, and that'll take out a regional, and I can hold that for the super regional, but I'm a little bit disappointed. I went against everyone advising, so I ordered some golf clubs off of, I saw their ad on social media, TAKOMO. A lot of great reviews. People loved it. So I ordered the clubs. Yeah, I don't know if you guys buy yourself your own Father's Day present, but then started asking the kids for Father's Day gift. They said, no, you have golf clubs coming. The golf clubs were supposed to ship. I ordered them on the 13th. They would be here by the 22nd. Well, today is the 23rd, and they haven't shipped yet. So then I went into all the comments on the clubs. They were from accounts that haven't posted anything since like 24 or 22. So it's a good chance I may be.
What type of clubs are they?
TAKOMO.
Do you know anyone else that uses these?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so it's not just like a straight up scam that
what's
you got.
the selling point of these clubs?
Forgiving is what got me on the clubs.
I've been tempted, and maybe somebody out there uses these, you can let me know, where they talk about the clubs that they're all the same length. So a lot of people go out, you go to the driving range, you can hit your 7, 8, 9, and then you go down and you struggle with your 4, 5, 6. And so all the clubs are like the length of a 7, 8, or 9. And I've been interested in that. Like they say, then you don't have to change your swing up, your stance up, or anything. So if anybody out there uses those, let me know if that's any good.
Well, I will tell you this. You are in rare company. To the Top, who checked on Tabor when he was in the hospital,
That's 2 for today already.
but did not check on his own brother when he was in the hospital, has got words for you. He says, tell Preacher Man there's still not an Applebee's in Hattiesburg. And so that's going to the Tony V reference. And
Speaking of the top, of the two Brown brothers that I know personally, one of them sent me a happy birthday text yesterday. It wasn't the host of this show.
yesterday was your birthday?
To the top knew that.
Wow.
Wow, I missed your birthday. I am a horrible human being.
Even Cheer Guy knew that.
Would you like a donut?
I'd love one, but
That's the only plus of Facebook.
Unbelievable.
Keeps you up on birthdays.
I will say that, yeah, Facebook keeps you. It
Can't
gets
you-
Nick scammed on some golf clubs, but
Unbelievable. I missed your birthday. How old might we be this year?
old enough.
To the top also wants to let you know, and I think there's a good point to this. Should all conference baseball tournaments be single elimination?
I would think so.
Okay, I don't think like the SoCon, like you look at the Citadel and they're still rocking and rolling. Mercer been eliminated. I think the powers that be, maybe.
I think for maybe the P4s, I don't mind the single elimination as much because you've got a chance every year to earn your way into the NCAA through the regular season, through the strength of your schedule, and just winning enough games in conference. Some of these small one big leagues, I kind of still prefer the double elimination.
I do too.
To let the teams that have controlled that league all year less opportunity to stump their toe.
and I would say more than making them single elimination, maybe just lower the field, like make you have to earn your way in a little bit more. You know, cut a few of your teams out.
Like it used to be in the
Yeah, I
SEC.
mean-
Okay, like you look at Hoover, like Missouri wouldn't have made it. South Carolina
Right.
wouldn't have made it. Vandy and LSU
Yeah,
possibly.
say it. You know, you hate Louisiana. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have made it.
I do not.
But I just think at that point it makes, because what if LSU had gone and made a run? You've gotten swept the past 2 weekends in a row in SEC play, and if you go and make a run and you somehow steal a bid, I just don't know that. I don't know that LSU would have earned it at that point.
I will say this, regardless of what Tabor thinks my views are, there is not a fan base in the conference. And I know we could talk about the negatives and the positives, but there's not a fan base that supports their team and baseball in particular any more than LSU, regardless of the record.
I've got
Regardless-
in-laws that went to Hoover just
Yes.
to watch.
Even though you're looking not the best year, they're still there. And I will tell you this. If you go, and I'm a message board troll, I go across message board all over the country. And you look at Alabama. Alabama gets outgained by 8 yards in the first quarter. They're going to be like, fire DeBoer. We need a new offensive coordinator. Our offensive line coach is terrible. Regardless of what LSU's record may be, they're going to still look at you and say, you know what? You may have won the game, but we're still better than you.
And we've
Like,
got a shot.
I'm unbelievable. And I think that passionate fan base, also, you look at it. Is this the first time in the history of the free world you have an assistant coach that used to be the head coach in football, and Ed Orgeron going back to be an assistant for Lane Kiffin, and Johnny Jones on Will Wade's staff as well? That is unbelievable. All they need.
I saw a meme with BK. Like, fired coaches are getting rehired. He kind of,
Where's my turn?
maybe I should call Verge up.
I'm going to tell you, they are, if Tony V and the Giants tank and Jay Johnson decides to go elsewhere, go back west, if they hired Tony V in
It'd be the last Infinity Stone.
It'd be the most
Okay.
toxic.
I apologize for missing your birthday because that's exactly what I was thinking of, the last Infinity Stone. For you Marvel buffs, you're right there. By the way, finished up I enjoyed going back and watching Daredevil. That's an under-the-radar Marvel character in Daredevil. But we'd love to hear from you at 888-993-7762.
Ray Baby says the man calling the Tech game mentioned Tabor's birthday several times yesterday. So even he got on the train, Nick.
Okay, pour salt in the wounds. I forgot his birthday. Okay, I forgot his birthday. Horrible human being. I feel terrible about it. But I did visit him in the hospital. Where were you guys? Okay.
I wasn't on the show yet, so
I went to
I
the
don't know if I
hospital.
can be blamed for that.
I may have seen Preacher Man more than you. You were so mortified you didn't come back.
No, I did not. Okay, I sit with baseball games with you.
I had
There.
to bring some holy water. in
Really?
there.
All 3 of them this year?
You know what? You're terrible. We're changing the name of the show, Tabor and Company. If you'd like to support the Tabor and Company show,
Sig says it's anti-baseball to have single elimination tournaments.
not bad. Now, I do like it for the upper tier. Maybe, but like I love like the SoCon. I even actually like the pod system. I thought all you had to do is win the first game. I mean, you look if Louisiana Tech goes 2-0, they're in the semifinals. So I do like that aspect of it, and it rewards the regular season. And that's what we've talked about for years. It is a different format. I'll give Conference USA credit. We knocked Conference USA quite a bit, but it was a different format. How about over in the Sun Belt because of that weather? You had to. Boy, you know that Troy and Southern Miss, Troy fans would have liked Troy and Southern Miss to go play there, but they actually had a game. I believe it was the 2 teams traveled to Troy because of the weather delays and played in Troy. So they split up the conference tournament. You're able to do that. It's kind of like a backup host for that game. So I wonder where AUM plays their games. Probably not a big enough field to play. Cheer guy, look up and see Auburn University at Montgomery's baseball field. It's probably QV Low Field. I would think they named it after him. But they left and went to Troy and played a game just due to all the delays. So that was a good one, to the top with a walk-off grand slam over the Troy Trojans. We're going to break down the field of 64. We're going to have Glenn Lucas from the SEC tournament takes care of the field when we return on the Nick Brown Show.
Here is your weather forecast from Red Peach Radio. Cloudy early today with partial sunshine expected late with a high of 87. Then coming up for this evening, a few clouds overnight with a low of 68. For your Sunday, it looks like we'll have cloudy skies early followed by partial clearing. There is a slight chance of a rain shower with a high near 85. And then for Sunday evening, partly cloudy skies during the evening. It will give way to cloudy skies overnight and a low of 73. Cloudy conditions to start your work week. A possible thunderstorm is possible and a high of 85.
Has your yard work and summer fun already put your back and neck in a bind? Bending, lifting, twisting puts additional tension and pressure on your back and neck. Once your muscles and nerves become inflamed, you start to feel the pain and stiffness, and no matter how many over-the-counter medications you take, it just won't go away. Well, it's time to call Dr. Bob Rendina at Chiro Network in Ruston. Chiropractic treatments work to get your back and neck working properly again. Play it smart. Stretch before and after. And when you need a chiropractor, call Dr. Bob Rendina at Chiro Network in Ruston.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, financial advisor Jeremy Hebert, and I'm here to help. We can work together to understand today's financial landscape and make sure you achieve your goals. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Let's connect. Start by giving me a call at 318-251-9200.
Member SIPC.
Okay, so clearly the word is out about Country Pleasin' sausage. Thank you for helping make Country Pleasin' your go-to sausage on game day. From original to jalapeno and cheese, black pepper cheddar, even crawfish and pork, we can't get enough at Sports Talk 97.7, and it seems like you can't either. Check for Country Pleasin' at your local retailer, and for additional flavors, check them out at countrypleasin.com. That's countrypleasin.com.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a great ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their ED pill called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in as little as 12 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. You need to try it for yourself. It's unreal what it does to you. Viagra AGV crushes every other ED pill, and it's endorsed by the head of urology at the prestigious Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Beverly Hills, Dr. Dudley Danoff. Every man alive needs to try this amazing, remarkable Viagra AGV pill at least once. It's beyond belief. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss this. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. Go to scoreblue.com, scoreblue.com. That's scoreblue.com. Viagra AGV is available only at scoreblue.com by prescription, no doctor visit.
Saturday morning, sports, and the Nick Brown Show. You can't beat it.
Welcome back to the Nick Brown Show. We're going to delay Glenn Lucas to 8:45. You appreciate Glenn. If you're an SEC baseball fan, he's actually pulling the tarps at Hoover. There was a big discussion this week on Twitter, X. Should you move the tournament out of Birmingham, is what was stated. And of course, everybody went in. It's not in Birmingham. It's in Hoover. It's in Hoover. Okay, everybody knows that Hoover is Birmingham. But do you – I don't think you do. I don't think – where would you move it? Now that Texas and Oklahoma are in, would you move it to more regional for them? I think that – no. I think that making Hoover – and I remember years ago I was at Hoover and Bianco was asked a question, head coach of Ole Miss was asked a question about moving it to Memphis, which would clearly be in his benefit. And he said no, because making it to Hoover, that's when you had to qualify for Hoover, was similar to making it to Omaha. And so I think the SEC should come out and say, to end all the talk, should come out and say, we're not moving it out of Hoover.
Better food in Memphis, but otherwise.
You're the only person. All right, that's our question this morning.
No, I would
Preacher
keep
man
it in.
is
I would keep it in Hoover. I mean,
no, you said it.
I just said there's better food in Memphis, but
you're not a fan of Full Moon Barbecue?
It's okay. It's got a little chain effect to it.
The chocolate chip cookie, the chocolate chip cookies dipped in chocolate.
I mean, I've ate there a few times.
Of course you have. It's funny, years when you had me chaperoning every church trip from as soon as school was out, May to September, the church would stop at that. It's right outside of, where Barkley is from, that area. And there were a lot of, they went to the chicken place that's not open on Sunday. I would leave the church and go to Full Moon. And so I was never actually chaperoning during the lunchtime hour. I would go to Full Moon.
That's all right. I think they.
But where would you go? Would you go? You go Memphis. You play where the Redbirds play. Now,
yeah, I mean that's where you would play if you went there.
If you're going to move it, I would move it to. I'm the only one that would.
That's the only other kind of central place, unless because I don't know what Little Rock has. But when you're talking South Carolina to Austin, Texas, I mean Hoover's kind of
the place
right there in the middle.
So we'll ask but we're a heavily Alabama crowd with Steve listening on Smash Hits 94.5, who just reminded me that even Bubba Butts wished Tabor a happy birthday. So today is Brownie's a horrible human being. Missed Tabor's birthday yesterday.
You got your wife?
Isn't that pretty much every day that ends in Y?
Have you got your wife's birthday and anniversary down? Just make sure you got that. We'll send you a reminder if you need us to.
Here's what I need. I do need another bourbon glass with Tabor's birthday etched on it, because I kept forgetting the kids' birthdays. So for Father's Day a few years ago, they gave me a cocktail glass that had their birthdays on it.
Huh?
The month, the day, and the year. Because I would fill out the paperwork. Cabbage and RJ both born in March, and we were married in March, and so basically I would put the day we were married as RJ's birthday. I would put the day that RJ was born as Brett's birthday, so I had none of those together. So,
and especially when you get grandkids, it all starts running together. We just need to pick like one day and celebrate all the birthdays.
Sad news out of NASCAR, of course, with Kyle Busch sudden passing. His number 8 Richard Childress Racing, is retiring Kyle Busch's number 8 Cup Series car, at least until the late driver's 11-year-old son, Braxton, is ready to take over behind the wheel. Now, you talk about a lot of pressure. You're 11. Is he going to be a NASCAR driver? But that was a sad news out of that 41-year-old Busch passing away this past Thursday.
Oh, gosh, just tragic. I mean, and still don't really know what happened there, but definitely sad. Now, take his dad out of the equation. If you were 11 years old, if his dad, was still alive and everything. I mean, at 11 years old, knowing that your future might be to be a NASCAR driver, that'd be pretty cool, because most kids, if you ask them, what do you do when you grow up? And some kid says NASCAR driver, we think, okay, stupid, come up with something realistic. But that would actually be realistic for that 11-year-old. So that'd be pretty cool.
Baseball America had a article yesterday, 8 for Omaha. and it was interesting to go through that. Going to look at that this morning. Glenn Lucas is going to join us at 8:45. He's at the Hoover Met pulling the tarp this morning. Is it still what do they call it now? Is it was Hoover Met, then it was Regions Park. Go through. I stayed up and watched last night as Auburn defeated Texas A&M. Looking good. Of course, the Final Four. You'll have Florida and Georgia are going to be in one semifinal, and Auburn and Arkansas, which is really interesting because it's kind of like the SEC East versus the old SEC West. But Auburn and Arkansas, at this point, you want to go ahead and win it. You've used your arms, and you want to have arms for your regional, but now you're playing for the national seed to see if Auburn can make moves between Alabama, looked strong. Will they be above? But Louisiana Lafayette is projected number 3 seed. Lamar are projected number 4 seed. But you look at this and going through the field of 64 projections, I love the matchups with the series, how they have them matched up and paired. And if they pair the Auburn Regional with the Hattiesburg Regional, phenomenal. If the Vols are in Hattiesburg, you need to make the trip. But
yeah, in the SEC tournament, today you should still be on your probably pitching rotation, but tomorrow's game, the championship game, because you definitely, with a tournament game coming up Thursday or Friday, you're not going to use a primary arm. So it's definitely going to be, probably I would think a collection of different pictures for whoever's in that championship game tomorrow. Some guys throwing a few innings, a freshman, your midweek guy, if you've saved him. And that's a good thing, I guess, about having. But even if you're on your third game, when you normally do a 3-man rotation, I mean, I don't know that I want that guy throwing 90 to 100 pitches tomorrow.
Right now, your projected national seeds, UCLA, obviously the top overall number 1 seed. Georgia Tech, very strong number 2 seed. Georgia, the 3 seed. Texas, the 4 seed. North Carolina, the 5 seed. 6 seed Auburn, 7 seed Alabama, 8 seed Texas A&M. And isn't it amazing, out of the 8 national seeds, 3 of them, basically you look at 3 states, recommend 6 teams. You look at Georgia, Texas, and Alabama.
I think Texas and Alabama, honestly, are both a little high. I think Texas should be top 8, but I don't think they should be that high. I think Alabama's borderline whether they're top 8 or not. I think they're very good, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
We go look. Alabama swept Auburn earlier in the year. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I think a team to watch out for, depending on where they go, is to watch out for Jacksonville State. That's a team that run ruled Auburn and had 2 one-run losses to Bama. I think that's a team that could make where they go. Your Tennessee is going to be a 2 seed.
Right.
And you look and see how they see Jacksonville State. That is going to be a good
That's going to
seed.
be a tough 2 seed for somebody. Gosh, you wish they could get a top 16 seed. You love to see programs like that getting to host a regional, but probably just too far down because of strength of schedule. Even though they played a tough schedule, just when you go against the big conferences, that little bit of difference sometimes drops you.
Well, you're looking at the SEC. Now they're saying 12 bids out of the SEC, so that would put Kentucky in, yes.
Yeah.
So ACC with 8, the Big 12 with 7, the Big 10 with 4, Sun Belt with 4.
Wow, that's awesome.
So looking at the projections, and we're going to have Glenn Lucas from the SEC tournament taking care of the field out in Hoover at 8:45. But the projected right now, Morgantown, West Virginia, that's one to watch. They've climbed up to that 16 seed to host, and that's where they have the Ole Miss Rebels going, which I think Ole Miss losing on the first day is going to pay benefits for that program. South Dakota